Hello there guys, Darren here for Forever Football, DRFC, your Doncaster Rovers fan channel. Oh my god, we've done it. We have only gone and won again. One of the most informed teams, and I've got to be fair to Oxford United. They were probably one of the toughest opposition we've had this season. On a pressing basis, on an attacking basis, they kept coming at us. But again, this result actually could prove that we are probably going to win the league this year. And it actually makes it even better when I see Hull losing to bottom of the league Burton 1-0. Oh, Hull, you do not like that fixture. Yeah, Donny Rovers 3, Oxford 2. Barring the referee's performance and the first half dominance from Oxford, we were great. We were great apart from those two things. You know, I can't even put into words how brilliant that performance was. That second half team talk was probably the best second half team talk in terms of what it gets out of the team. And the instant impact of those players that came on in the second half. Bostock, as soon as he came onto the field, he was on it. Even for those last few minutes he was on the pitch, he was on it. Scott Robertson, as soon as he came on for Taylor Richards, which I'm hoping the injury is not too serious. I'm hoping it's just a precaution. So he did get up and he was walking, wasn't limping, which is good. So hopefully Taylor Richards was just a precaution and he will be back for Tuesday. He might bench Tuesday, depending how serious it is. But Scott Robertson, when he came on, slotted into that number 10 role 110%. Looks a stylish signing, Scott Robertson, as well as John Bostock. Jason the Kilo came on as well, did his bit. Joe Wright came on, did his bit. Overall, we were looking stylish. Let's go through it half by half. So the first half, Oxford were all over us. Let's be completely and utterly honest and fair here to Oxford. Oxford, fair play to you. If there's any Oxford fan channels or any Oxford fans that want to comment down below what you thought of the game, please do. I'd be interested to hear from you and reply to your comments down below because Oxford in the first half were all over Doncaster Rovers. We didn't get our game together. We were giving the ball away. We were sloppy in possession. And, you know, the goal from John Taylor came on the counter-attack. Beautiful pass from Matt Smith. Taylor turns his man inside and curls it into the bottom right corner. Should the goalkeeper do better with it? Probably. But we went up 1-0 and then sloppy defending. Balcom saved the first shot. I believe it was Sam Long, I think it was, that got on the rebound and Balcom couldn't get to it, and it was 1-1 going into the second half. So we thought, you know what, 1-1 is actually a lucky scoreline for us because I think, I think Oxford, if they were more clinical, could have been 2-0 up in the first half because they were really, really on it in the first half, all over us. But then Darren Moore put the rocket up their backside and we came out like the proper Doncaster Rovers. We came out in the first half like we were competing for mid-table and trying to scrape by a playoff contender. Because let's be fair, Oxford are probably aiming for playoffs this season, despite the poor start at the start of the season. Second half, we came out like Doncaster Rovers, champions of League One and future Premier League side. We came out wanting that match. And we've said this all season, we don't have to win comfortably all the time. We just have to win in the end. And that's what we did. First 7 minutes of the second half, brilliant goal from Fajiri Okunabiri. And Taylor Richards, once again, I've said this so many times now, sign that guy on a permanent deal. Matt Smith, Taylor Richards, sign that guy on a permanent deal. And when you have a Barnsley fan from the Championship saying sign Fajiri Okunabiri, can we sign Fajiri Okunabiri? You know you've got class players in your team. So we've got class players in this side right now. And I'm looking at other results. We've got Fleetwood on Tuesday. They drew 0-0 with Bristol Rovers. I think Fleetwood are there to be got at, and we can go at them. I think Portsmouth drew today with Plymouth. They're a playoff contender that was possibly trying to chase the title. I think Portsmouth's title race could potentially be over after today. Hull City losing to Burton, like I said earlier, that's a good result for Burton and a great result for us because it means that, you know, it sort of gives us a chance to, obviously we're now second on goal difference, that's amazing. Accrington getting a draw, I believe, so again, they were in the hunt for the playoffs, so especially with all those games in hand, so Accrington, you know, they're not going to be approaching us anytime soon, which is good news for us. And it makes our title charge look even more stronger. Now, of course, the team was very, very interesting. We're going to go through player ratings, and then what we need to do against Fleetwood at the end of the video. But overall, if I could sum up this game, like I said, first half we came out like a mid-table to relegation team. Second half we came out like a champion. They came out like they wanted to win that. Darren Moore is the wizard. He is the wizard. And it's like Oasis's Wonderwall. And after all, you're my Darren Moore. I love that kind of statement that I saw on social media with the Oasis Wonderwall collaboration with Darren Moore. But it does make sense. Darren Moore is the man. And we've said this for months now. We're so lucky to have him as a manager because we've got a board that will back him. We've got a manager that plays exciting first-team football. And this, if we want to be a Premier League club in the future, like Huddersfield were, like Hull City were, like Leeds United are, like Sheffield United are, but maybe not for long, like Sheffield Wednesday once were back in the day, if we want to be at the top level of English football in the future, this is the kind of manager we need, and this is the kind of season we need. Win when we shouldn't at times, and win when we must do at times. Winning most of the time. And Sunderland got a draw today with MK Dons, 2-2. If they lost that game, they would have had just as many defeats as us. But I think now that Oxford lost that game, we are the best informed team in the league. And yes, we're going to get pressured on. And yes, we're going to get hunted. But if we keep it up, we are getting the title this season. No doubt about it. At least automatic promotion because we deserve it this season. And I can't wait to watch the highlights on EFL On Quest tonight to see exactly how much praise we're going to get. Because again, it should be interesting. Before we go on about player ratings, I want to speak about one thing that was kind of a hindrance on the performance that didn't involve us, but it kind of involved Oxford. It kind of involved us as well. And that is the referee, James Bell. Someone sent a message to me on Twitter about the referee, and I called this statement of the weekend. Bell by nature, Bell end, Bell by name, Bell end by nature. That is the best way to sum up the referee, because when you see Gomez get stamped on with studs on, and the referee gives a free kick to Oxford, and not the player that was fouled, and he gives 7 minutes of added time, and he gives Joe Wright a foul on him for breathing past Oladipo in the second half. What kind of referee is that? We speak all the time in the last week or so, especially, about Premier League referees and how incompetent they are with Arsenal, with other teams. The EFL referees, some of them are no different to Premier League referees. They just don't have the technology to back them up. But they are definitely part of the conspiracy theory of referees in England. And there is one decision, though, that I question about the referee's decision-making that was actually, in my opinion, a decision for Oxford, and that was the penalty in the second half. In my personal opinion, I'm going to be completely, utterly honest here, I think that was a penalty. I think that the referee didn't really see Butler make contact in the box, and it should have been a penalty in my opinion. But we got away with it. Oxford fans, they're probably crying into their pillows about it. But you know what, Oxford, good luck for the rest of the season. I'm sure you're going to get playoffs or get close to them at least. And, that one decision was the one thing that I sort of think, well, we do feel a bit guilty there. But there have been decisions that have gone against us that should have been our decision anyway. So, and you could hear the comment, if you were watching the game on the iFollow app, you could hear Robbie Andrews and Danny Amos question the referee's decision-making a few times in that game. So before we talk about what we need to do against Fleetwood, let's talk about player ratings. So, going into that starting 11, starting off with Ellery Balcombe, I'm going to give him a 7. I think there was a few chances that Oxford had that were really clinical in first and second half action, and Balcombe was equal to them. Yes, the second goal, he got to the first save and couldn't save out the second one, which, to be fair, I think the defence could have cut them down on the first goal. The second goal, that was the first goal. The second goal, though, was a wicked deflection. You couldn't help Balcombe there. So the goals weren't really his fault. First one he could have done a little bit better, but he was saving the first one, and the defence should have cut out the second attempt from Sam Long from a very close distance. So I don't really blame Balcombe for both goals. So overall, apart from that, he made some good saves, and I'll give him a 7. Going into that defence, I'm going to start with Brad Halliday. I'm going to give him a 6. I'm going to be completely honest, give him a 6. He was up, down, worked hard, but he did give the ball away a couple of times, and the back four did look a little shaky today. So Brad Holiday gets a 6, but it's a high 6. Anderson, the captain, again, I'm going to give him a 6. Again, it was just a case of needed to do better in this game, and hopefully Tom can improve on that. But it was an okay game. It wasn't completely bad. It was just average at best. Andy did put a good block in the end, though, in the second half. I'll say that. Anderson did put in a good block in the second half to deny a chance. Andy Butler, I'm going to give him a 7. I think he was probably the better of the two centre-backs. Only just. Andy Butler, again, put some good blocks in. Got there a couple of times and overall had a good performance. Cameron John, I'm giving this guy a 6. Yes, he got forward quite a bit. Yes, he should have stuck to his position. But in my personal opinion, he is not a left-back. Darren Moore sees him as a left-back. Unless you can convince me of a great performance, Cameron John, as a left-back, then I want to see him at centre-back rather than left-back. I think now we've got more depth, I'd like to see Cameron John playing as a centre-back. If we need to give Butler a rest, if we need to give Anderson a rest at some point this season to rotate the squad while we're in this February-March fixture scheduling, I want to see Cameron John playing at centre-back now. Even if it's just 1 or 2 games for the rest of this season, I want to see Cameron John in that centre-back position and see how he does. I know he's getting played as a left-back. I know he played there a couple of times for the Wolves Academy. But I want to see Cameron John as a centre-back because that's when we first brought him in as a centre-back. But I think overall at left-back, it wasn't all bad. It was good in some parts. He was getting forward quite a lot. He did have that attacking threat. He did want to go for it a lot. But there was a couple of times where he gave the ball away, and overall it should be doing better with that. But overall, not a bad performance. Not bad, just all right. In the midfield, Matt Smith gets a 7 for me. Absolutely 100% a 7. Matt Smith played through a beautiful ball for the first goal and kept getting himself about in that game. Overall, wonderful performance. Magic Gomez gets a 6 for me. First half, I think he was on a completely different page. It's like the Doncaster Rovers were reading... let's say Donny Rovers were reading David Williams' The Midnight Gang. Magic Gomez was reading 50 Shades of Grey. He was on a completely different page to the Rovers squad. Second half, before he came off, he looked alright. He was getting better into the game. So overall gets a 6. James on the left wing, first of all, I'm going to give him a 6. I think, again, overall, just alright performance. Nothing too special, but did get involved quite a bit. Richards, before he came off at Kia, I'm going to give him a 7. Physicality, got the goal. Overall, very, very good. Taylor on the right wing, I'm going to give him a 7 as well. Good goal in the first half. Put himself about for the rest of 90 minutes and overall did quite well. Finally, Okunabir, I'm going to give him a 6. Good goal. Got bullied in the first half, but apart from that goal in the start of the second half where he didn't get bullied, he was very over and very 50-50. So before he came off, of course, for the last few minutes of the second half. So overall, apart from the goal, was all right. Nothing too special apart from the goal. So it gets a 6 overall. Looking on the bench, we're going to give, obviously, Wright came on, Robertson came on, Bostock came on, and Lakilo came on. So first of all, Wright, I'm going to give him a 6. Overall, nothing too bad. Robertson gets a 7 for me. I think overall he was slotting into that position really nicely. Did put himself about quite a bit and overall had a good performance when he came on. Bostock gets an overall 6. Didn't impact the game too much, but as soon as he came on, he was right in there, leading from the front because we didn't have a recognised forward for the last couple of minutes. But Bostock came on and immediately was in on the fray, in on the physicality, and overall did a good job. So I'm going to give him a 6 overall. Didn't make enough impact in the time that he had, but as soon as he came on, he did put his stamp on the game and put his physicality on the game. So it's good signs for Bostock. And then finally, Lakilo, I'm going to give him a 6 as well. Didn't make too much of an impact. So overall, they're not bad player ratings, 6 and 7s. No 8s or 9s or 10s, really, but overall just a good team performance on a very, very close game. Like I said, Oxford definitely put themselves about more in the first half, so, it was up to us to put the rocket up their backside and go for it, and we did do that, so I'll praise the team for that. Finally then, what do we need to do in the next game on Tuesday against Fleetwood? Well, we need to stop giving away lousy possession. Fleetwood got a 0-0 draw with Bristol Rovers here. I don't know the logistics of the game, but if a 0-0 draw tells us anything with Fleetwood, is they're there to be got at. They are there to be caught out and got at. And we need to do that by not giving the ball away, not giving away sloppy possession. We need to keep putting that attacking threat on them. I don't think Fleetwood, in all honesty, will be as threatening as Oxford, and that's just my personal opinion. I think Oxford were more all over us today. I think Fleetwood will be just behind. And overall, hopefully we'll get the 3 points. So stay tuned for the preview of that on Monday. But for now, guys, thank you very, very much for watching this match review. Donny 3, Oxford 2. Good luck to Oxford for the rest of the season. And we are going top. We are going top of the league very soon. Thank you very much, guys. My name is Darren Chalner from Forever Football, DRFC. Keep living the Doncaster life. And that, my friends, is full time. Rovers till I die. Come on, Rovers. Let's get another 3 points on Tuesday. Rovers!